Section 19 of the Glories of Mary by Saint Alphonsus Liguori. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Part 1, Chapter 8. Et Jesum benedictum, fructum ventris tui nobis, post hoc exilium ostende. After this our exile, show us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Section 2. Mary assists her servants in purgatory. Too happy are the servants of this most kind mother, since not only in this world are they aided by her, but also in purgatory they are assisted and consoled by her protection. For succor being there more needed, because they are in torment and cannot help themselves, so much the more does this Mother of Mercy strive to help them. Saint Bernardine of Siena says, that in that prison of souls who are spouses of Jesus Christ, Mary has a certain dominion and plenitude of power to relieve them, as well as deliver them from their pains. And, in the first place, as to relieving them, the same saint, applying the words of Ecclesiasticus, I have walked in the waves of the sea, in fluctibus maris ambulavi, adds, visiting and relieving the necessities and sufferings of my servants, who are my children. Saint Bernardine says, that the pains of purgatory are called waves, because they are transitory, unlike the pains of hell, which never end. They are called waves of the sea, because they are very bitter pains. The servants of Mary tormented by those pains are often visited and succored by her. See then how important it is, says Novarino, to be a servant of this good lady, for she never forgets such when they are suffering in those flames. And although Mary succors all the souls in purgatory, yet she obtains more indulgences and alleviations for those who have been especially devoted to her. This divine mother, in her relations to Saint Bridget, said, I am the mother of all the souls in purgatory, and all the sufferings which they merit for the sins committed in life are every hour, while they remain there, alleviated in some measure by my prayers. This kind mother sometimes condescends even to enter into that holy prison, to visit and console these, her afflicted children. I have penetrated into the bottom of the deep. Profundum abyssi penetravi, as we read in Ecclesiasticus. And Saint Bonaventure, applying these words, adds, I have penetrated into the depth of this abyss, that is, of purgatory, to relieve by my presence these holy souls. Oh, how kind and beneficent is the Holy Virgin to those who are suffering in purgatory, says Saint Vincent Ferrer. Through her they receive continual consolation and refreshment. And what other consolation have they in their sufferings than Mary and the help of this Mother of Mercy? Saint Bridget one day heard Jesus saying to his mother, Thou art my mother, thou art the Mother of Mercy, thou art the consoler of those who are in purgatory. And the Blessed Virgin herself said to Saint Bridget, that as a poor sick person, suffering and deserted on his bed, feels himself refreshed by some word of consolation, so those souls feel themselves consoled in hearing only her name. The name alone of Mary, a name of hope and salvation, which these beloved children often invoke in that prison, is for them a great comfort. But then, says Novarino, the loving mother, on hearing herself invoked by them, adds her prayers to God, by which these souls receive comfort, and find their burning pains cooled as if by dew from heaven. But not only does Mary console and succor her servants in purgatory, she also releases them from this prison, and delivers them by her intercession. From the day of her glorious Assumption, in which that prison is said to have been emptied, as Gerson writes, and Novarino confirms this by saying, that many weighty authors relate that Mary, when about to ascend to paradise, asked this favor of her Son, that she might take with her all the souls that were then in purgatory. From that time, says Gerson, the Blessed Virgin has possessed the privilege of freeing her servants from those pains. And this also is positively asserted by Saint Bernardine, who says that the Blessed Virgin has the power of delivering souls from purgatory by her prayers and the application of her merits, especially if they have been devoted to her. And Novarino says the same thing, believing that the merits of Mary, not only the torments of these souls are assuaged, but also abridged, the time of their purgation being shortened by her intercession, and for this it is enough that she presents herself to pray for them. St. Peter Damian relates that a certain lady named Marozia appeared to her godmother and told her that on the day of the Assumption of Mary she had been released by her from purgatory, with a multitude of souls exceeding in number the whole population of Rome. St. Denis the Carthusian relates that on the festivals of the birth and resurrection of Jesus Christ, Mary descends into purgatory, accompanied by troops of angels, and releases many souls from their torments. And Novarino believes that the same thing happens on every solemn festival of the Holy Virgin. Every one has heard of the promise made by Mary to Pope John, to whom she appeared, and ordered him to make known to all those who should wear the sacred scapular of Carmel, that on the Saturday after their death they should be released from purgatory. And this was proclaimed by the same pontiff, as Father Crasset relates, in a bull which he published. It was also confirmed by Alexander V, Clement VII, Pius V, Gregory XIII, and Paul V, who, in 1612, in a bull said, that Christians may piously believe that the Blessed Virgin will aid by her continual intercession, by her merits and special protection, after death, and principally on Saturday, which is a day consecrated by the Church to the Blessed Virgin, the souls of the members of the Confraternity of Holy Mary of Mount Carmel, who shall have departed this life in a state of grace, worn the scapular, observing chastity according to their state of life, recited the office of the Virgin, and if they have not been able to recite it, shall have observed the fasts of the Church, abstaining from flesh meat on Wednesdays, except on Christmas Day. And in the solemn office of the feast of Holy Mary of Mount Carmel, we read that it is piously believed that the Holy Virgin, with a mother's love, consoles the members of the Confraternity of Mount Carmel in purgatory, and by her intercession conducts them to their heavenly country. Why should we not also hope for the same graces and favors if we are devoted to this good mother? And if with more special love we serve her, why can we not hope to obtain the grace of going immediately after death to paradise, without entering into purgatory? As we read that the Holy Virgin said to the Blessed Godfrey, through Brother Abondo, in these words: "Go and tell Brother Godfrey to advance in virtue, for thus he will be a child of my Son, and mine also. And when his soul quits the body, I will not permit it to go to purgatory, but I will take it and present it to my Son." And if we would assist the holy souls in purgatory, let us endeavor to remember them in all our prayers to the Blessed Virgin, applying to them especially the Holy Rosary, which procures for them great relief, as we read in the following example. Father Eusebius Nuremberg relates that there lived in the city of Aragona a girl named Alexandra, who, being noble and very beautiful, was greatly loved by two young men. Through jealousy they one day fought and killed each other. Their enraged relatives, in return, killed the poor young girl, as the cause of so much trouble, cut off her head, and threw her into a well. A few days after, Saint Dominic was passing through that place, and, inspired by the Lord, approached the well and said: "Alexandra, come forth." And immediately the head of the deceased came forth, placed itself on the edge of the well, and prayed Saint Dominic to hear its confession. The saint heard its confession, and also gave it communion, in presence of the great concourse of persons who had assembled to witness the miracle. Then Saint Dominic ordered her to speak and tell why she had received that grace. Alexandra answered that when she was beheaded she was in a state of mortal sin, but that the most holy Mary, on account of the Rosary, which she was in the habit of reciting, had preserved her in life. 2 days the head retained its life upon the edge of the well, in the presence of all, and then the soul went to purgatory. But 15 days after, the soul of Alexandra appeared to Saint Dominic, beautiful and radiant as a star, and told him that one of the principal sources of relief to the souls in purgatory is the Rosary which is recited for them; and that, as soon as they arrive in paradise, they pray for those who apply to them these powerful prayers. Having said this, St. Dominic saw that happy soul ascending in triumph to the kingdom of the blessed. PRAYER. O Queen of heaven and of earth, O Mother of the Lord of the world, O Mary, creature most great, most exalted, most amiable, it is true that many on the earth do not love thee and do not know thee. But there are innumerable angels and saints in heaven who love and praise thee continually. On this earth, too, how many souls burn with love of thee, and live enamored of thy goodness. Ah, if I too might love thee, my most lovely Lady! Oh, that I might always be engaged in serving thee, in praising thee, in honoring thee, and in striving to awaken love of thee in others. A God hath been enamored of thee, who by thy beauty, if I may so speak, hast drawn himself from the bosom of the eternal Father to come upon the earth and become man and thy Son, and I, a miserable worm, shall I not be enamored of thee? Yes, my most sweet Mother, I will also love thee much, and do all in my power to make thee loved by others. Accept then, O Mary, the desire I have to love thee, and help me to fulfill it. I know that thy lovers are regarded with much favor by thy God. Next to his own glory, he desires nothing more than thy glory, in seeing thee honored and loved by all. From thee, O Lady, I await all my blessings. Thou must obtain the pardon of all my sins. Thou must obtain for me perseverance, succor in death, deliverance from purgatory. In a word, thou must conduct me to paradise. All this thy lovers hope from thee, and they are not deceived. This I also hope, who love thee with all my heart, and above all things next to God. End of section 19.